All right.
Do you want to redo it?
No. Yeah, sure. Let's do it one more time.
Frank
Freaking Alex on a podcast. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. There we go. Yeah.
Oh,
That
majestic.
was electric.
All right. I'm Alex, and that's...
I'm Frank.
And welcome to tcoms. This week, we're watching Community.
I hate you. I hate that this is your week.
Every week is my week.
Oh. Welcome, everybody, to Shitcoms. This is a weekly podcast where we watch the top 5 rated episodes of a given sitcom as rated by IMDb. We're going to talk about them. We're going to discuss favorite characters, least favorite characters, funniest lines, most out-of-pocket lines. This week, we are talking about one of Alex's favorite sitcoms of all time, if not his absolute favorite, Community. Alex, what the hell is Community?
A suspended lawyer is forced to enroll in a community college with an eccentric staff and student body. Boy, does that really undersell one of the greatest sitcoms, if not the greatest sitcom. That's all it says on the IMDb page.
Okay.
This is one of the greatest sitcoms of all time, if not the greatest. I love this show. It is by far one of my favorites. I've watched it through multiple times, so I'm going to be very biased here.
Better than Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Better than The Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
Better than The King of Queens?
Absolutely. Frank, though, you have not seen it, correct?
Never seen Community.
You've never seen Community, so I'm going to get a fresh take from you.
And honestly, before you read the description there, I had no idea what Jeff's role was. This guy's really old to be going to community college.
Yeah.
That makes sense now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there
Doesn't
we go.
it all add up?
Yeah, this is all making a lot of sense here.
All right. Should we jump right into the first episode?
You know what? Might as well just jump right into episode 1. Alex, what are we watching?
Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, Season 2, Episode 14, first aired February 3rd, 2011. The study group plays Dungeons and Dragons with another classmate to improve his spirits, but Pierce's jealousies cause their good intentions to backfire. Rated a 9.5 out of 10 by IMDb. Frank, let's get into the discussion.
Fat Neil?
It's the first thing I have written down too is Fat Neil.
When you watch the show, it's extremely quip heavy. Like, that is...
Nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with it, but that's very clearly its thing. So when you go into this episode, especially if you're like me and it's your first time watching it, it's really quick with everything it does. So there's the intro where they're playing like this epic background music to sort of set up Dungeons and Dragons with Neil, and they're giving Neil's whole backstory. And there's this harmonizing in the background. Then there's this great line where it says that he was born stout of heart but large of bone. Going off the whole fat equals funny, not fat, big bone thing.
Big bone,
Good argument there. But that's another thing about the show, the editing. The editing is awesome.
It is.
Because this is not like any sitcom I think I've ever seen.
It's not.
Even something like 30 Rock where it's clearly not on a soundstage. They're actually on set. 30 Rock is nowhere near, in my opinion, what Community does with its editing. It's just so creative with it.
They don't rely on cutaways. They just go right into it. It's very in the moment. Like, I just love it. They don't do anything crazy. They stick to their guns.
They don't do anything crazy.
Okay, they do a lot of things that are crazy, and it's freaking awesome. I love this show. It's freaking awesome. During the intros, you brought that up. They one of my favorite ones is, so they give each person a nickname. like this person, My favorite one is Abed the Undiagnosable. Because it's Abed. Abed's the best.
I kind of forgot all about those nicknames because of Chang, how he was dressed to play Dungeons and Dragons.
The blackface, yes.
And what's her name?
Shirley called it a hate crime.
Yeah, Shirley looks at me. Are we really just going to ignore the hate crime here? I'm an elf, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, Annie is her character that they just like randomly assigned. So like Abed threw out all the character sheets on the center of the table, and Annie just took one, and she got Hector the Well-Endowed. Freaking awesome. So funny. Shirley thinks that, who was gay? According to Shirley. Oh, Shirley thought Abed and Troy were gay.
Yeah,
that's a great
they
joke.
talked about sharing something together. I forgot what it was, though. Yeah. I can't think of it.
They call Pierce the AT&T of people. I love that line. He's the AT&T of people.
No, they said that to Britta.
Oh, it was Britta?
Because she was talking about something like social justice related, where she was complaining.
Yes.
And then they called her the AT&T of people.
She is the AT&T of people.
Troy, during the whole thing, was looking for something to Jenga. Yeah. He was very confused by Dungeons and Dragons.
Shouldn't there be something
Yeah.
to roll or Jenga?
And then there's another one of those jokes where there was a dwarf. Oh, the dwarf that Shirley plays is named Zippity Doo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that wasn't the only Song of the South reference
No, it
in
wasn't.
the show. And I'm like, is that two? Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
Pierce comes in and they're explaining to him what they're doing, and he goes, first of all, gay. Second of all, stupid. Third of all, why didn't you tell me?
I have that line. Pierce, up until this point, I could take or leave Pierce in the show. For everyone watching that has never seen Community, Pierce is sort of like
He's played by Chevy Chase. He's an old man.
He's like
he's
the
an outcast.
He's the boomer
he's
of the
a boomer,
group. Yeah. So
both literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Boomer.
So he just like looks down on everything. He's constantly insulting the guys. But he also has this thing where he hates being excluded from the group.
Exactly.
So he's just as sensitive as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't want to admit it. So this whole time that they're playing Dungeons and Dragons, they're only doing it because they think this fat kid Neil is gonna kill himself, which is also crazy. This is the second sitcom we've watched where there's a suicide arc in there for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. What's that about?
But that's besides the point. So they think that Neil's gonna kill himself, so they decide to play Dungeons and Dragons with him
to cheer him up.
But they don't invite Pierce
Mm-hmm.
because they know how he's gonna act with it.
Mm-hmm.
Pierce finds out about it and hijacks the entire game.
Yeah. So one of the first things he does when it's his turn is he points to Chang and he goes, "I attack blackface," because Chang is in a. I guess we didn't give the context of this before. Chang is in a elf costume, but it's like pitch black
charcoal
black paint from head to toe, and it looks like blackface.
Yeah.
It's so funny, and I can't believe I just said that on a show, but it's true. It's hilarious.
Edit that out.
No, I gotta keep it.
But,
keep it.
Pierce also says so for Dungeons and Dragons. Neil has some really rare sword that he says took him was like 13 years or something ridiculous to get.
Yeah.
So Pierce hears this and he's like, I hump it in relation to the sword. There's a lot. He has another line too where he says something really similar, and it's so stupid and it just comes out of nowhere, but it's really, really funny.
Mm-hmm.
As far as episodes go, this was a really good episode.
You're cutting me off already?
I'm not cutting you off. I'm just saying. This is a good episode.
Okay. Because there's more I want to say. Oh, yeah. So ultimately, Pierce kills Chang's character, which is Brutalitops. He dies, and they hand in the sheet. And it's like super dramatic, slow motion music. Hilarious. Then the narrator comes in because Jeff leads them on a quest now to go get Pierce, because Pierce like runs away at the end of his turn or whatever.
Yeah, they got to find a Pegasus.
They have to find a Pegasus. And so the narrator comes on, and like I think the line was, as they described themselves walking, Abed confirmed, Abed is the dungeon master here, Abed confirmed that they did indeed walk. And it was just so good. It's so good.
There's also, because Pierce has made himself the enemy of Dungeons and Dragons, he has to leave and go to a separate room where he then learns everything that he can about Dungeons and Dragons. And it gets to the point where Abed goes into the room that Pierce is in to check up on him, and it has this really menacing red lighting. All of a sudden, he built his own throne, and he has a glass of wine. He looks like a total villain.
Yeah.
And he just knows everything about Dungeons and Dragons now.
It's
which
beautiful.
is great.
It's beautiful. And then, so when they're looking for Pierce's character in the game, Abed, like, essentially makes it so that they have to have sex with one of the characters in the game. They're like, so first of all, Abed wants it to be Jeff. So like Jeff starts to like flirt with Abed. He's like, this is weird. I can't do this. So then Hector, the well endowed, which is Annie's character, starts to flirt with Abed's side character, the elf or whatever. The elf maiden, I think it was.
And there's this whole
and it's like this
really
whole montage,
yeah.
and like Annie's doing like all these weird hand motions. She's like that with her four fingers, like pushes them up in the air. And then
the narrator says something like, and Annie described lovemaking.
Yes.
Oh, did she describe it?
And Troy was taking notes the whole time. And at the end, Annie said something about, and afterwards, I will spoon them the appropriate time and then leave.
Oh,
and then,
is that Troy? Like,
Troy,
what is the appropriate time?
He looks up from his notes. What is the appropriate time? What's the appropriate time? I think we would all like to know that.
That's a great question to ask.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, so Troy wanted to play shoot. He goes.
He wanted to play shoots and ladders.
He goes, this is why I wanted to play shoots and ladders. It's so good. Oh man, something about tears of gravy at some point about Neil. Oh yeah, he goes, "Cry your tears of gravy." It's like that's brutal.
I didn't catch that one.
Yeah, I was like, that's brutal.
There is Pierce also when he has his final fight with the whole group. His plan is, I'll make a fatter Neil. Or so, I force him to gain weight. And then the way that they beat Pierce is by saying, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
And everyone
they
just
pity Pierce.
Yeah, everyone just says how bad they feel about him.
And then they beat him.
And then they beat him.
He let his guard down,
Yeah.
And then at the end, Abed's like, this has been Dungeons & Dragons. Excelsior. And I'm like, I'm going to start ending sentences with Excelsior because that's boss.
Stan Lee reference.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Excelsior. It's beautiful. brings a tear to my eye. And my favorite joke of all in this entire thing goes under the radar, but at the end, the narrator voice is like mouthed by like
that's your favorite
lady.
Joke.
It's so funny.
I rolled my eyes at that one.
That
I was
so
like,
good. What do you mean? What didn't you like about that one? What didn't you like about that
I think it was just because we watched 30 Rock with the other, what was her name? The other cleaning lady with the birthday. It's just reminded me of that. I'm like, really? That's how you're going to end the episode?
That's where you're going with this?
Yeah.
That's where you wanted to end up?
I also think it's cool because every episode has like its own, not like an end credit scene,
Mm-hmm,
but it has like its own extra bit at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think of all of them, this was probably the weakest extra bit where Troy and Abed are debating over, what is it, a tail or having big ears or something like that.
And they walk in on like a different study group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
weak. It was pretty weak.
It wasn't the best.
All right. So we had to rearrange the order of these episodes because it's a two-parter. It's a paintball episode. It's a two-parter. The first part is ranked higher on the IMDb list than part 2. So we start with Season 2, Episode 23, A Fistful of Paintballs, originally aired May 5th, 2011. In a spaghetti western parody, Pierce tries to get his revenge on the rest of the study group during the year's paintball tournament. It's rated 9.6 out of 10 by IMDb. I love the Dean. I love the paintball episodes. I just love all of it. Yes. Go ahead, Frank.
This was the first episode that I technically watched in order. I watched that was the last one I watched. So this paintball one was the first one. And I remember you talking, you were like, yeah, the paintball ones are good, but they're kind of like their own isolated thing. I don't know if you'll like it, or I don't know if it's something that you would get into if it was your first episode.
Yeah.
As far as first episodes go, I love this. I love how everyone had their own like stupid action movie outfit. Abed was Han Solo, which was awesome. Like his whole
that's the second part, but yeah.
But like his whole arc was becoming Han Solo, and then when you watch on Netflix, it's not split up into two parts. You just watch it as one thing. For one of my first lines in here that I loved is Troy describes the enemy team as juggernauts. And then
that's part 2. I think Juggernauts is part 2.
Did I only watch part 2?
You might have.
Oh.
Did you have the joke about you'd have my fist up your balls?
Oh no.
Oh man.
No, I would have remembered that.
The Dean's wearing an outfit with short shorts. The price is $100,000 cash. Jeff wants the paint shotgun. That guy? No, nothing.
No.
Wow.
No. Okay. So this is where we reached.
Wow.
Yeah. So I saw part 2 then. Wow. Okay. So that's great that I was able to watch part 2 of a two-parter
and understand
it.
Yeah.
I didn't give a shit. It was good.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Go Community.
This is the first time we made it 4 episodes before we screwed up.
That's impressive.
It is impressive. Hey man, what are you gonna do there?
It was. We could still talk about it.
What's the procedure?
Yeah,
What's the procedure?
Well, give me part 1.
Okay. So it's a Western spinoff to start, which is why like in the second episode some of them are wearing Western clothes and whatnot. So Annie, it opens on Annie, and she's like, she's pretty much the protagonist this episode, and she's like running it, like killing people left and right, like quick shooting her or whatever. She's using a Bunsen burner to make beans, which is freaking hilarious. And then like the antagonist in the episode is some guy hired by eventually we find out City College, like you did in the second episode. And he's got like a paintball shotgun, and they call him the Black Rider.
I love this show.
And Abed says he's good looking, network TV. And then so Pierce is running like a watering hole and like getting people to pay paint like not shotgun pellets, but paintballs. They have to pay paintballs to use the bathroom, and like he has Vicky dancing and Garrett dancing. Garrett, the fat guy with the glasses.
Oh, okay. So that's his name because he shows up a bunch of times.
Garrett.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Pierce is like has his own like deputies and stuff. He has these people that he has working as like essentially a police force, and he has a wanted poster for Jeff out there. You'll never guess what the sign says.
I won't.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. No.
Wanted, gay and alive.
Considering it's Pierce and it's this show, I should have known.
Mm-hmm.
I should have expected no less.
Yes. Chang is executed.
No. Is he?
Yes. He's executed.
Okay, so what point in the show does Chang like make his first appearance? Is it the
Chang in the first season is originally a Spanish teacher.
Okay.
He is the Spanish teacher, and then he goes through some really tough times, loses his job. It's such a good arc, dude.
Okay.
You need to watch this show. You have to watch this show.
After watching the 5, I'm pretty sold on
Dude,
it.
you
It's
have
very
to
good.
watch this show. I think you'd actually love it. And if you watch it, I'll come over and I'll watch it with you. Like, just wherever you're at, I'll just sit down and watch the episodes.
It's a date.
Thank you. I can't wait. Anyways, Jeff gets a better look at the Black Rider at one point and says, I got a better look at him. He's not that good looking because he's insecure about his looks, obviously. At one point, they're all walking down the hallway, like with their guns and stuff. And Shirley's like, we got to hurry up. I need to pump because she's got, kids and she has to pump her milk or whatever. And Troy goes, me too. You're talking about peeing, right? And Shirley goes, nope. And Troy goes, me either. Such a golden exchange.
I love Troy.
Yeah, the dean. So eventually they get into the dean's office and they're like, Dean, you have to give us the gear from last year. You have to give it to us. We're losing out there. It's not good. We have to defeat the Black Rider. And the dean goes, well, I have them in my pocket. And he like sticks out his side to get Jeff to like dig in his pocket or whatever and maybe grab his junk because, it's the dean.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And so eventually when they do meet Black Rider, Jeff goes, okay, Black Rider, now let's see who's attractive. And they just start shooting each other. Oh, man. At one point, I forget what the context is here, but Jeff says, I wouldn't go to this toilet with my big sister's toe.
The fuck does that mean?
I don't know, but it's hilarious. When they defeat the Black Rider, he goes, I'm out of here. I've got Coldplay tickets. They beat him, and he's like, you know what? I'm out of here.
I would
Whatever.
love to see Pompeii.
I have Coldplay tickets.
That'd be great. What are you humming?
Is that not Pompeii?
No. I
Oh,
was like,
whatever.
my
I
God.
don't know my Coldplay. I don't know my Coldplay.
You don't need to know Coldplay. Everyone knows Pompeii. Did you not go to 8th grade?
I did go to 8th grade.
All
yes.
right.
All right, whatever.
God.
And then Chang gets lit up by the Gatling gun at the end, too. They open up the...
Oh, that's how he gets executed?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
You know
beautiful.
what? Okay, that makes a lot more sense now because when the second episode starts, it's very much like they're licking their wounds from something.
Yeah.
I just had no clue.
Pop. All
I
right,
just
you
had
ready?
no clue what it was.
Okay, now...
Good segue that was.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Pop.
I was talking about me.
Oh, whatever.
That's how
For a few paintballs more, Season 2, Episode 24, aired May 12th, 2011. When the study group learns that there's a sinister plot behind the paintball tournament, they unite the remaining players to defeat the enemy, City College. Yeah. Take it away, Frank.
Well, yeah, I already did the Juggernaut line.
The Star Wars crawl.
Yeah, there's a brief Star Wars crawl, which thank God they cut it to like 10 seconds.
Even the text says, all right, let's move on
Yeah,
with this or something like that.
Thank God, because Family Guy's done the same thing before where they think it's really funny to waste my time.
And Family Guy does it all the time.
and just
There's just
fill-
a bit of like Peter just standing there or
They
something.
just fill the Star Wars crawl with bullshit. And it's like, you know that we're wasting your time right now, right? I'm like, yes, Seth MacFarlane.
I'm well aware. Please
I know.
stop.
It's been 45 seconds and I'm
Yes.
reading nothing.
Yeah, I'm getting nothing out of this, Seth. Figure it out.
But the episode, there's one character, Magnitude. He dies.
Pop.
This was like the first.
That's your first introduction to Magnitude.
This is my first introduction of Magnitude, but this is also my first impression of the show. So Magnitude gets shot with the paintball and like fakes his death. So Troy runs over and does the whole cliche yells no up into the sky thing. But the editing for a sitcom, like I said,
But you're
it's
missing
really good.
You're missing the best part here is that Magnitude goes pop, and Troy goes pop what Magnitude, pop what Magnitude.
There's another line where they say for Grandale on 3,
Yeah.
and then I think it's Jeff. he said.
No, Troy.
Or is it Troy?
Troy comes in. So Jeff's like, all right, guys,
Oh, yeah,
for Greendale on 3.
Because
And
they're
then,
like going back and forth
yeah,
for
and
leadership.
then Troy comes in. No, we can't waste time.
Every second
For
counts.
Green-
On 2.
It's so good. Leonard wants to hit City College in their balls. And then
Leonard's the old guy, right?
yeah, Leonard's
Okay,
the old guy. He goes, I want to hit him in their balls.
I-
And Jeff goes, below. Jeff goes, no, we have to hit him where it really hurts. And Leonard goes, below their balls? And Jeff goes, no. And he goes, I think that's called a taint.
Okay, yeah, because then I wrote, Leonard said, let's kick some taint. And I love that line. Okay. Someone says in the show, I forget who it was, but they're like, ask yourself, what does liberal arts even mean?
Yes, I had
Great
that
question.
too. Great question.
That is a very good question.
Yes. The sperm counts are higher even in women. That's a great line.
So I forget who it is again. I don't take orders from girls because they don't
Garrett.
talk to
It
me.
was
Garrett.
Garrett.
That's Garrett. Okay,
Yeah.
Garrett.
Garrett. He's talking to Britta. Yeah. So then Pierce gets captured by the City College dean. And he's like, I have information on Jeff. And he's like, okay, perfect. And he reads it off. And he's like, and his Achilles heel is wieners. And the dean's like, we should just kill you. Oh, man.
I wrote this is live action Fortnite, pretty much. That's
Yeah.
what this whole
Yeah,
episode.
live action.
That's what this whole episode really
Fortnite
is.
IRL.
And then the whole Jeff has a whole joke where he's like, "We'll go to Denny's after this." I'm like, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah.
Denny's is the meal of champions.
Yeah.
And then Britta they think they're about to lose, and she's like, "Can we still get Denny's after this?" He's like, "No, Denny's is for winners."
Yes.
I'm like, "Yes, that is what Denny's is for."
Yeah, I love the name of the two. So they split up plans because Jeff had a plan and then Troy had a plan, and Annie was like, let's use both of them.
Mhm.
So Troy's plan was called Operation Troy's Awesome Plan, and Jeff's was called Operation Actual Operation.
Jeff is just such an undermining prick.
Yeah,
in this
and then when things don't go well, Troy goes, okay, I have an idea. We're going to get out of this. He goes, Operation Troy's awesome leadership is never in doubt.
There's so many great lines in this show.
And then eventually when Troy's getting killed, like he's just getting shot by paintballs, and he's out here like just like he's having a seizure.
Yeah, because the way that the shot's framed, it's like down a hallway.
Yeah, so you see the shooters.
Yeah, and then you see Troy's back, and then
Yeah.
you see the paintballs coming out, and then he's just shaking, and then the music swells up as he's getting killed, and it's just the most dramatic thing. It's a lot like the end of Rogue One,
Mhm.
where all of the main characters are dying.
Yeah.
That's what this episode reminds me of, because then Troy's big plan to win the whole thing was to rig the sprinkler system
Yeah, with paint.
in the school and fill it with paint. And that's the whole plan. Is I think it's Shirley. Shirley has to keep watch over the
fire alarm.
The fire alarm, and when the team is about to die, it's her job to pull it.
Yeah.
So then it gets to the point where she pulls it, and it's again the music swells up. It's going in slow motion. Abed and Annie have this great moment because, like I said,
okay.
Abed's whole arc
is him
that-
being Han Solo, and
Mhm.
Annie finds it attractive, and they kiss like hard.
Yeah.
And for community fans, that was a huge deal. That's a huge deal
Mhm.
because Abed's mad awkward, and people obviously have the whole, if you're a community person, big discussion about if you're team Jeff and Annie or team Jeff and Britta. So a lot of discussion there.
Mm.
So to see Abed and Annie kissing is very sacrilegious, but hilarious. It's hilarious. So funny. I love this show.
I think you calling it sacrilegious was funnier than the actual kiss itself.
Anyways, at the end, they win. Pierce is the unlikely hero. He rips off his
Yes.
helmet. He has a
It's
redemption
Pierce.
arc. Yeah, he shoots everybody. He's like, we win. He goes, ah.
I think it's Leonard. He calls them City College knob gobblers.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. And then
Totally
they
valid.
raise the anus flag. There's an
Yes.
episode where they design, the whole episode is they design the flag, and at the
Mhm.
end, the dean's like, this is just an anus. And it is. It's just an
I
anus.
gotta watch.
You have to watch
This
this
is such
show.
a great show. All right, you ready to move on to the next one?
Yes.
Paradigms of Human Remedy.
Mm-hmm.
Is this okay? Since I've never seen the show before, is this just a glorified clip show? This episode specifically.
I didn't watch Paradigm of Human. It's not even on here, dude. Next one was Modern Warfare, and then Remedial Chaos Theory.
Oh, because you did the part.
I watched Dungeons and Dragons, those two, Modern Warfare, and then
hold on,
Remedial Chaos Theory.
Let me pull up my list.
This is interesting, Frank.
I mean, I don't care. I watched Extra Community.
Yeah, that's fine. You can take me through this episode though, if you tell me what it is.
Yeah, number 4. Paradigms of a.
Minus for a few paintballs more. What's the criteria here? By Tubby 1, dude. You're not looking at the actual page. You're looking at some guy's opinion.
Ah, son of a bitch. Okay, that. Well, I mean, we still watched. Really? Why the hell would it do that? Fucking IMDb, dude. Well, because look, this is the list I clicked on.
Yeah, it's called. Oh my god! You have to go to the community episode page, the community show page, and then you have to go to top ranked rated.
Now we see the discrepancies, but
oh man,
I still think we watched a lot of the same episodes.
Yeah, we did. You watched Modern Warfare, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So and Remedial Chaos Theory, the one with the alternate timelines.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, then we're fine.
Okay,
so I just watched it.
Yeah. So now you can take me through this one. Okay. All right, we got to do 6 episodes this week because fuck it, that's why.
Why not? This show's great.
Yeah, love Community.
Watch the show.
This guy was talking about Watch the Time. I want to be here for 2 fucking hours talking about Community. I love this show.
All right, so Paradigms of Human Remedy. The whole group is sitting in their normal, like their study lounge place. The episode starts, and Troy has a pet monkey.
Yes.
So the pet monkey gets loose and goes through the air vents. So Chang he rubs like baby oil on himself and goes into the air vents to look for and find the monkey. And then Chang has a line before he goes into the vents. Everyone's like, "Are you sure you want to go in there?" And Chang was like, "I know these vents like the back of my Chang." And then
Chang uses that's a bit throughout the entire show. Is Chang using his name as a verb or a noun?
Okay. And then Pierce looks at him. He's like, "Is that a new stereotype?" So, he's going through the vents, and in the vents he just finds a pile of shit, but it's like stuff associated with their history. So they bring out a couple of different stuff, but Chang still doesn't find the monkey. So Chang goes back into the vent, but the way that it's edited is that he like leaps, like the Nirvana album cover where the baby's like, that's how he leaps. And then someone, I think it's Jeff, he's like, it looks like a reverse cow birth. Great line. Something is said where Troy says that this is hardcore racist, like 1800s Disney racist. John Oliver is also in this episode.
Yeah, John Oliver is a big part of the first season, and then he has a few appearances throughout the second, third,
gotcha,
etc. But he's a main character in the first season.
But yeah, so pretty much what this episode does is it's about how the group is constantly arguing and how
I know exactly what episode
and
you're
how
talking about.
Every time they argue, it's the exact same argument every time. So first it starts off where they blame it on Britta and Jeff.
Yes.
And that's the reason why there's constantly conflict, because they find out that Jeff and Britta are hooking up, and Abed's the one to find it out.
They actually don't hook up until... Oh, no, wait, yeah, they have been. You're right.
Yeah, because it was Valentine's Day, Halloween, and I think Christmas. Or not Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. And I took the note here because Britta tells Abed, she's like, yeah, a leprechaun took our clothes. We weren't doing anything else. So I think that one might be better than the Spider-Man line from last week.
I agree.
Britta has another line where Abed and Troy, I blanked out for a second. Abed and Troy are watching TV, and Britta walks in because they're trying to show how Britta's always starting issues. She walks in, takes the remote, and is like, humanity is premiering, you jags. I love that word, jag. It's not used nearly as much as they should. So as this is going on, Britta and Jeff then switch the argument around, and they're talking about all the different conflict that everyone else starts. And there's also one scene where Annie is sitting in the chair, minding her own business. She's reading a book, and her bag is right next to her. Britta reaches over her waist, takes chapstick from Annie's bag, puts on the chapstick, and doesn't put it back in the bag. She, throws it in the general direction of the bag. And that was hilarious. I thought that was so great. And then,
it's the greatest show on earth.
Yeah, and then when they're talking about how Pierce starts problems with everybody, they refer to a time where Pierce takes 3... he takes 3 flu shots, and he's sitting on top of. He's on a bookcase, right? Yeah. And they're all trying to talk about. They're like, Pierce, you gotta stop taking these. He's like, I'll be like a living god when I keep taking.
I'll be a living god. And he goes to shoot up. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and then there's.
I think my favorite part about this episode, because I know exactly which one you're talking about, is that the fact that it's a clip show.
Yeah.
50% of the clips aren't actually from episodes.
Oh, really?
It's stuff they filmed just for this.
Oh, okay.
To make it seem like a
yeah,
like the all the stuff from the St. Patrick's Day stuff, not in an episode. Not even a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, because when I was watching, it was just giving me really big clip show vibes. Like,
yeah,
okay,
it is technically a clip show, but it's like
but
a
it's
bit.
all new. Okay.
It's a bit.
Okay, cool. There's also like a montage of Annie saying that Jeff is like giving her the look, and the whole montage is like, put your hand out for a sec. It's like shit like this where you accidentally touch their hand or they accidentally make eye contact, and that's Annie's proof for Jeff making a move on her. And
I mean, he kind of does at one point, but we'll get there.
Yeah, there's another part where Pierce leaves his zipper down, and I thought that was really fucking hilarious because you did that last week on tcoms.
I did
when we talked about 30 Rock.
So embarrassing.
Yeah,
so worth it.
And then they at the end of the episode they turn it on Dean.
Yeah, where, Dean Pelton.
I
didn't even get I hated the one thing I hate about these episodes that we got to watch. You did not get any good Dean scenes. You got zero good Dean
montage.
Scenes. Okay, go ahead.
No, this montage of Dean, I didn't write down. There was every single entrance he had in a costume, he had a pun. And it was like some obscure, well thought out shit.
That
like,
is
this
exactly what the Dean does in every single episode.
Yeah, no,
there's at least one Dean joke like that, and he uses his name as a happy holiday.
Yeah, these were not shitty puns. These were great puns. But my favorite sort of bit that they did was he comes in the room and he's wearing cat ears. He's got like whisker makeup on. He's wearing like a leather. What is it, like a corset or something like that?
Yeah.
He's got a whip in his hand.
Yeah.
He comes in the room, he snaps the whip, and he's like, "Happy Feline AIDS Awareness Day." Like, I didn't even know that was a fucking thing.
It's not. And the best thing is, not in an episode, just for that episode.
And then the episode ends with everyone in the group telling, because Jeff says something to Dean along the lines of, "We hate the fact that you always come in here, interrupt our stuff, talking about
Isn't he
random
in like a
bullshit
USA outfit during this, or no? I can't remember what he's wearing.
He's either wearing that or he's got like one of the powdered wigs and like like an old-timey dress on.
Mm-hmm.
But then the whole group is telling him, they're like, "Yeah, that was kind of messed up what you did. We're starting to hurt the feelings of innocent perverts." Great line. I wrote this one down as a question for you. Why does Troy's monkey have a collar that says Annie's boobs on it?
Because he named it Annie's boobs. He originally
Is there a reason why?
Because he likes Annie's boobs.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, big Allison Brie guy, I guess.
And then the episode ends with Mega Dean.
Mega Dean.
So Dean, the best part about this is like, so Dean pretty much makes a cartoon where he becomes like a robot cyborg monster hybrid thing and kills the entire cast of characters. But it's not like TV animation. It's not good. It's very clearly animation that was made on a really basic computer program. Mm-hmm. The audio sounds really shitty, but it's so funny. He like puts Jeff in a arm cannon and then shoots Jeff's ghost out of the arm cannon. He like melts. I think he melts off Troy and Abed's face with like rainbows. It's the stupidest thing, but it was so funny.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
All right, what episode are you lead the way with these episodes?
Okay.
If we're going out of order, I'll match with you.
Okay, so now we're back on track.
Yeah.
Number 2 on the list, Modern Warfare.
Okay.
Originally aired May 6, 2010, Season 1, Episode 23. Greendale Community College is transformed into apocalyptic war zone when the dean promises the winner of a paintball competition priority registration, and it could fan the flames of sexual tension between Jeff and Britta.
So Chaos Theory is the number 1 episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Remedial Chaos is number 1, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's one of the greatest episodes
all right.
Of sitcom television ever.
We'll get to it.
We will, and I'll die on the hill.
Yeah, you can die.
Okay.
You can die on it.
So right away, guy on skates comes in, bringing back disco with a big ol' afro.
What
and
it
Leonard
is, Soul Brother?
Yeah, what it is, Soul Brother, from Leonard, the old man. I love it. I don't know what this was in reference to, but Shirley says, "You guys are just like Sam and Diane." I hated Sam and Diane.
There's also
the dean comes in and like puts his hand on the shoulder of Jeff and like rubs in him.
Yeah. So that's a bit during the whole show then, right?
The dean has a crush on Jeff.
Okay.
There's an entire episode where they go like the dean blackmails Jeff into going shopping with him. They like do karaoke. It's so funny.
Okay.
It's so good. Yeah, you have to watch this show.
All right. The dean says that the original prize for this paintball competition is a Blu-ray machine.
Yeah.
The Blu-ray machine gets stolen. Way to date the show, by the way.
Yeah, the Blu-ray.
Yeah. But the Blu-ray gets stolen, so he's like, all right, well, now the prize is TBD. And I think Troy
I want TBD.
Troy's
Is that new?
What is that?
And Pierce goes,
Okay.
if that's what I think it is, I had it in the 70s.
There's no Britta, and Jeff, he said fully erect. I think Pierce calls out Jeff and says that he's erect with Britta. And then he stands up. I was partially gonna try to, I don't know how, I thought he would have a boner when he got up.
Yeah.
I just set myself up for the most awkward thing.
That's so
But I
good.
thought that's where the show was going with the joke.
So Jeff falls asleep in his car, right?
Oh.
And then somebody comes out and the place is a wasteland. He's like, what the hell happened? And he gets saved by Abed because he walks into a middle of a gunfight. Abed saves him, brings him in. And then Troy's like, Jeff. And then hugs him. He's like, I thought you were dead, man.
I love how these paintball episodes encompass different genres of movies and TV so well. Because the beginning of this or when Jeff wakes up from the car, it gives me such big Walking Dead vibes.
Yeah.
Where everything has gone to shit and they're acting like it's the end of the world. It's
Yeah.
paintball. It is just paintball, but it's so awesome.
It's beautiful.
And they find out that the prize is priority
registration,
scheduling.
yeah.
For their classes next semester. So that's why everyone's going crazy. He finds, what's the fat guy's name again?
Neil?
No, not Neil. The other
Garrett?
one. Garrett, yeah. Jeff finds Garrett in the hallway, and he's covered in paint. There's paint on his glasses, and Jeff's like, "What happened here?" He's like, "They all
It's
turned
still happening."
Yeah, it's like the most generic zombie story lines that you could ever hear. They all turned into animals.
Yeah.
They all lost control when they found out what was happening, and that's when they find out about the priority scheduling.
Yeah.
So eventually, Jeff goes around the whole school. The core group meets up. I love how they find out about where the girls are.
Yeah, by going to the bathroom.
They all decide to.
Yeah, Jeff asks, he goes, are the girls still alive? And somebody goes, by the girls, do you mean Britta? And Jeff goes, no, I don't mean Britta. Did I say Britta? And Troy goes, yes, twice now. Such a setup, such a crappy line. But they walk in. First they find Pierce by a vending machine. Him and Starburns.
Oh, yeah. He's
him and Starburns are getting food or whatever. And he's like, you guys are alive? This is Pierce. Pierce goes, you guys are alive? He goes, yeah.
I want to. Are you guys a group? I want to be in your group.
And then he just shoots Starburns. And he's like, well, I don't want to be with him if I could be with you. So right on, Pierce. He goes, it's just Starburns.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Feel bad for him. Not really, though.
Yeah, so then...
they go to the bathroom, and Pierce goes, I'll stand guard. I'm wearing a diaper for the game. And Jeff goes,
are you wearing the game? Are you wearing it just for the game?
Yeah, for the game?
So they all go to the bathroom, and it switches to, Troy's point of view.
Yeah.
And he's looking at the wall, and you see, the paint drip down, and he realizes that at the urinal, the only part of the wall that's not covered in paint is where your head would be if you're standing up to pee. So then Troy turns around real quick, and Britta and Cheryl are in the
not Cheryl.
Cheryl, what's her? Yeah, wait.
Shirley.
Shirley, same thing.
No.
But they're both in the stalls, and then Annie is in the garbage can.
Yes.
And they're all waiting to surprise people, and that's how they've been picking off different people one by one, and then they all sort of group up. And after that, is that when they go to the quad and face off against the Glee Club?
Yeah. And as they're walking out there, Troy's like, Shirley, are you thinking what I'm thinking? And she goes, our team's walking with God. He goes, no, we could already be the last 7 people. So he wants to start an alliance with Shirley. And then Shirley's like, oh, that would be great for the black community. And he goes, I am not an ambassador. I am a gladiator. And then he immediately gets shot. And Shirley goes, Troy made God mad.
Well, Troy also, this entire episode, has a cup on, but it's in the outside of his pants. So he's just wearing a bright white cup on really dark colored pants. So you're just drawn to it. It's the funniest thing. But then
I love Donald Glover so much for this show, dude.
Like you said, Troy gets shot. So they're all trying to look and see who the shots are coming from. It's
the Glee Club because they start singing in the trees.
Half the team gets taken out, and then Pierce is behind like a fallen table, and then Jeff yells, he's like, Pierce, do not crawl over here. And then Pierce is like, I'm gonna crawl over there. He gets shot right away. That was Jeff's plan so that he can see where the shots are coming from. And then I think it's Britta or Annie. They're like, do you hear that? I think that's harmonizing. And it's the Glee Club in the tree. So they start shooting at the tree. Best bit, fat equals funny.
Yeah,
the fat guy gets
hanging.
stuck in the chair, his guts hanging out. He gets shot with the paintball, finally falls.
Jeff goes, write some original songs.
Yeah. Well, they're also singing "Hit Me with Your Best Shot."
Yeah. Then Annie goes, that's uninspired, and then she gets shot.
Well, it is. It is very uninspired.
It was extremely uninspired.
So it comes for their team. It comes down to Britta and Jeff, and they go in. I forget. Oh no, because before it comes down to Britta and Jeff, it's Britta, Jeff, Abid, and
Shirley.
Shirley, thank you.
Yeah, and
I was gonna
Shirley,
forget again.
So they're talking about what they would do with the prize.
But like they're all sitting.
Yeah,
they're all
around
sitting
a campfire.
by a campfire, but they're still inside the school. The whole room is torn to shit. It is awesome. And they're like, and she's like, well, if I win the prize, I think that I'm gonna take a semester so that my schedule works so I can be with my kids. And then Britta was like, I think if any of us win, it should go to Cheryl right away.
Yeah, Cher. Oh my God, you're making me.
Did I say it wrong?
Shirley. Jesus
Shirley,
Christ.
yeah. So they're like, yeah, let's give it to Shirley so that she can spend more time with her kids. And then Jeff was like, I'm going to win, but I'm not going to give it to you.
Well, so Shirley's thing is, that's nice.
Yeah.
She says that all the time
That's
throughout the
less
episode.
nice.
Yeah, so she goes, that's nice when Britta says that. And then Jeff goes, well, I'm not going to win it for your kids. And she goes, that's less nice.
Oh, yeah, because they're saying that as Abid and her, they just got eliminated. So they're walking out of the room. And that's because I think Britta yells like, I'll win this for you. And then Jeff, that's what he said. I'll win this, but I'm not going to do it for you. There's also one point where Britta thinks that Jeff got shot. And then Jeff's like,
it's blood.
Hey, it's not paint, it's blood. I'm like, that's not much better. That's worse.
He goes, what a stroke of luck.
But it's all set up so that they can do the cliche thing where she's taking care of him. He's shirtless. And then they're talking about how the tensions.
Yeah, they have like sexual tension or whatever.
But
and
like
then
the whole thing going into this episode is that Britta and Jeff are always arguing because they have sexual tension. And then it finally comes out during this paintball tournament. So, but also during this episode, Dean has completely lost control of the school. He didn't anticipate that the paintball tournament would go like this. So he has a plot where he's going to recruit Chang because Chang plays paintball 3 times a week.
And he's that douchebag that brings his own stuff.
Yes. So Dean is like,
go ahead.
But you're not a student. He's like, well, then enroll me. So I think he gets enrolled in like.
Okay.
Let
me go over there.
Yeah.
So he goes, so like they do this really evil laugh together. Then all of a sudden they just snap, and it's like, so what are your interests? And he goes, oh, arts and crafts, arts and crafts. So then he walks into the room and he just like, this gave me
like I know Scarface.
Yeah, gave me Scarface vibes, and he just like shoots up the entire room
because he's wearing a suit.
Yeah,
he has a pink zebra striped paintball gun. He has I don't think it's not a cigarette,
but he has something in his mouth.
He's got something in his mouth. It's and Britta and Jeff are behind a table or something taking cover, and he's just lighting the place up. And then
Jeff goes, well, "You're not a student," and he takes out and Chang takes out his transcript and goes, "General media literacy and politics of gender, bitch." I was like, "That's beautiful."
It's so great.
It's beautiful.
And then he runs out of ammo in his first gun. He pulls out his second pair of pistols, and
they're gold. They're golden.
I swear they had something engraved on them, but
I don't think so.
But I couldn't read the engraving. I don't know if that was just the design, but it looked like there was lettering on it. But it was hilarious. So Britta gets eliminated before Jeff does. So she gives all of her ammo to Jeff and everything. But
well, then there's the line about no paintballs, Hans, because he goes to shoot. No, she goes to shoot him, and he's like, no paintballs, Hans. So that's where the Die Hard connection comes in. Because then at the end, after they defeat Chang, he goes in.
Wait, hold on. Because when they defeat Chang, Chang opens up his jacket, and he has a little timer on him, and then like 2 or 3 water bottles full of bright green paint. So then the shot, it's like they're just in some sort of room.
They're in the study room.
Yeah,
they're in the study room.
They're in the study room, and then the way that the shot's framed is it shows the entrance, the doorway, and it shows Jeff walking out of the door, and then behind Jeff is just this big green explosion because Chang just let off a paint bomb.
Yeah,
and then
suicide vest.
Yeah, and then Jeff's limping to Dean's office, and he looks exactly. This is originally why I thought this was based on Die Hard. I've never seen Die Hard.
No, yeah, it's a Die Hard reference.
Yeah, but he's wearing the white tank.
You've never seen Die Hard?
I've never seen Die Hard.
Holy shit!
I told you this before we recorded.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess that just didn't hit me.
Yeah, but
what the hell?
He's got like the Bruce Willis hair. I know what Bruce Willis looks like in Die Hard.
Yeah.
And
he's got the dirty tank top. He's got
like
the limp. He's not wearing shoes. He's bare feet.
He's got the
cuts
everywhere on his face.
Total Die Hard. And he walks into Dean's office, and then he goes, "What do you want from me, Jeffrey?" And he just goes, "Guess." And then he gets the priority registration, and he gives it to Britta, to Shirley, I mean. So then afterwards, the school's put back together or whatever. And they're in the study room, and Abed on the table where Britta and Jeff had just fornicated. He just touches the table and goes, "Something's different. Something feels different." And Pierce goes, "Well, it could be that I'm wearing a man thong." And Abed says, "No, it's not that." And then Pierce just says, "Are you sure? My underwear's riding up on me." So. Great exchange between Abed and Pierce right there to end the episode, and then they have the outro with during the credits.
No, you forgot about Jeff.
What I forget?
He gives the schedule.
Oh yeah, I said that. He gives the schedule to Shirley. Yeah,
I guess. But it's a happy ending.
It is a happy ending.
Very
yeah,
happy ending.
You got to talk about the message outro though. It's freaking golden.
Which outro was this?
Where so Troy's trying to leave a message for Abed. And
yeah.
And Jeff's getting pissed, so he comes over. "You're gonna meet your girlfriend at the flagpole in 10 minutes."
And he's like, "Was that too mean?"
Yeah,
I think
did
that
I sound like an ass? Did I sound like a jerk? Right, and then he records it again. They do
"Hey,
like 2 more.
sorry to bother you, but Troy wants to meet up at the flagpole in 10 minutes."
Screw it. Just send him a text. Golden. Send him a text. Anyways, beautiful episode.
Okay, now here we go. We're number 1 ranked episode.
Remedial Chaos Theory, Season 3, Episode 4. First aired October 13th, 2011. At Abed and Troy's housewarming party, Jeff decides to let the decision on who gets the pizza rest on the roll of the dice, leaving Abed to contemplate 6 alternate realities. And holy shit, is it awesome! Go ahead.
Yeah, so the whole thing is that Troy and Abed had an apartment, so they're having a housewarming party. That's what I thought the whole basis for this episode is. So, who are the first guests to show up?
Shirley.
Oh,
no, Shirley's been there baking for 3 hours, and she goes, "Time flies when I'm baking," and Troy goes, "No, it's not."
Oh no, but this line that I have is from.
It was Annie and Britta that showed up first.
But this line I have, I think, is from Jeff because they have a Raiders of the Lost Ark model,
Chop busted.
And Jeff says, "Oh, this is the apartment of perpetual virginity."
Yeah,
like, great line.
And Troy goes, "Chop busted, fellow adult. Chop busted." Fantastic. And they lured Jeff there because they knew he would keep the night open if he had an invitation to go to a club opening called Single Malt Platinum Boobs and Billiards Club.
I never read that out loud. I should have known better.
I should have known. Yahtzee slander needs to be stopped. They were slandering Yahtzee. So
how old are you?
I love Yahtzee. Shut up. Anyways.
Fucking 60 years old.
Shut
That's
up.
an old-ass game.
Shut up. So anyways, Troy rolls the dice, and then he goes, "All right, how to play Yahtzee." And then he opens up the directions. Anyways, so the pizza shows up. They buzz up. Brrr. All right, pizza's here. We have to go down. They all reach for the nose. Oh, we all did it at the same time. So then Jeff's like, "All right, I'll roll a dice. Starting on my left, 1 through 6. Whoever it lands on has to go get it." He throws the dice, it lands, and now we have our first timeline. The roll is 2.
So Annie goes to get the pizza.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes down to get it, and Troy,
Pierce had sex with Eartha Kitt.
Yeah,
every time.
You don't need to say that now. You could say that for any one of the timelines because
he had sex with Eartha Kitt.
That's the line that always gets said. But,
yes.
Annie leaves her purse on the table. This is one of the best lines in the entire thing. Troy looks at the bag. He's like, "Hey, Jeff, what does a pregnancy test look like?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a little plastic thing." And then Troy pulls out Annie's gun, and he's like,
"Okay, so this is definitely a gun."
It was so good because there's zero correlation between either of those things, and the way I like how he holds it by like. He doesn't hold it by the handle. He holds it by like the loop or the trigger guard. He holds it by the trigger.
It's so good. Oh, man. And then Britta comes out and says this very cringy line. Pizza, going tummy, me so hungry. I wanted to punch her. I wanted to go into the television show and punt her.
And that's
I hate
why you're going to hate what I have to say about this episode.
Yeah.
This episode is very funny. This episode is a very creative concept. I had to hear that pizza line
4 times. It was brutal.
Yeah, it was at least
brutal.
4 times.
It's brutal.
And
I'll admit that.
With the same thing with the Eartha Kitt. Was that?
Yeah, Eartha Kitt.
Like even that, I was like,
each time was a different pun though, so at least they got original.
Okay,
with that.
at least that one was different, but it was the same thing where it's like it's the same joke every time. It happens at the exact same point. The only time it was funny was when Pierce had to go get the pizza because you know that the line is coming, but you figure, oh, he's got to get the pizza. It's not going to be in the. He says it
on the way out,
and then just leaves.
Yeah.
So
I had sex with Eartha Kitt and leaves. Anyways, timeline number 2 rolls the number 4. So I forget who goes, but it doesn't really matter because the woman has a baking problem. Shirley has a baking problem, and Jeff's like, we do not enable her baking. Eartha Kitt came up organically once again. Pierce gives Troy a troll for a gift because it was outside his room
it's
at
like
Pierce's
haunted.
place. It's like haunted Norwegian troll or something. So yeah, it's brutal. Shirley forgot the pies. Shirley's the one that went to get the pizza because they forgot the pies. The pies burned.
Yes.
You are not allowed to have baking things as a personality, according to Jeff. And horny toads. And then Shirley says, "Okay, well at least I'm not a bunch of horny toads making googly eyes at each other." And then
leaves.
then they each look at each other, and that's fantastic. Anyways, and then they say she's having a nervous breakdown.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Is this the one where Pierce gets shot?
No, not yet.
No,
We're not
okay.
there yet.
I'll
let you know.
edit that one out.
I'll let you know.
Keep it a surprise.
Timeline 3. The roll is 3. Speaking of crap, Eartha Kitt again.
Yeah.
His mind went years ago about Pierce. Annie and Jeff. Jeff hits his head on the fan every time.
Yeah, that's another one where it's
So then Annie goes to take care of Jeff. In the kitchen, and it's like, they're flirting, but I don't know how to feel about it because he's old and she's young and whatever.
How old is he supposed to be?
Jeff?
Yeah.
He's a fake lawyer, so like in his adulthood, and Annie's like a legitimate community college student, like 18 years old.
But like they all look old though.
Yeah, well, because Allison Brie was like 30 when they made it. Anyways, Troy goes into the bathroom where Britta is smoking weed. She's having a joint in the bathroom, and he walks in there, and he's like, "I'm an adult. I know what you people do in here." And he takes out a tin that looks like it's got cigarettes in it, taps it twice, puts it in his mouth.
It's like a candy. It's a candy cigarette.
Candy cigarette. Britta goes to light it. She's like,
but
it's not lighting.
Like going
but then he bites it and
it's
chews it. And he's like,
further and further into his mouth.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Dr. Shirley says pies are medicine, and Jeff says he wants to see the degree on that. And then Britta, and then Troy's making googly eyes at Britta.
You also forgot to mention that Shirley had a pizza first.
Yeah.
But they didn't have marinara sauce, so they used ketchup.
Yes.
They didn't have cheese, so she used cream cheese.
Yes.
So that's where all this whole conflict comes from. Is she made a gross pizza.
Oh, disgusting.
Yeah. Ew.
Timeline number 4, roll number 6. Eartha Kitt again. You guys are my best friends. I forget who said that. Abed asks to Troy if they refilled the toilet olives. Very important that they refill the toilet olives
because they are men of class.
Exactly.
I think Troy says that.
And so once again, Annie's taking care of Jeff after the hit on the head, and she goes, "Well, yeah, I had to apply a tourniquet the other day. The guy got stabbed outside my apartment." What?
Oh, and then Jeff, I worry about you. And then Annie brings up. That reminds her of her dad.
Yeah. And he goes, little Jeff, Makeout 101. Don't bring up your dad.
Makeout 101. Like, you're 30 and creep.
You weirdo.
Yeah.
Stop it. Shut
up.
Feel the terror of the Norwegian troll. And Britta comes up and she's going to marry the pizza guy, the really weird looking pizza guy. And when Abed informs him of other timelines, the guy has an existential crisis. Anyways, timeline number 5, rule number 1, Eartha Kitt. Here's your favorite. Annie tripped, dropped her purse.
Yes.
Her gun goes off when it went down. It shot Pierce in the leg. Britta's cigarette then sets the ground on fire. And when Troy comes back in with the pizza,
he sees the
doll, drops the pizza. All hell is breaking loose in front of him. And the birth of one of the greatest internet gifs of all time.
My notes for this was, it's the meme template.
It is the meme template.
That's the thing.
It's the meme template. Yep.
That is the thing.
Yep. And then timeline number 6, rule number 5. Everyone giving Abed money right off the bat because it's Abed. He was not going to pay it for himself. Troy totally looked at Britta's ass when she walked by. I don't know if you picked that up, but I did.
Not, no.
Britta comes out of the bathroom high as hell, smells the pie, and Shirley goes, "Oh, someone wants pie!" And then she ends up telling
Everything.
Shirley, oh, we weren't supposed to eat your pie, and we weren't supposed to tell you that you got to stop baking.
We weren't supposed to enable you.
Yeah, we
pretty
weren't
much.
supposed to enable you. Exactly. Annie and Jeff are making out again. They call her a pie pusher. They call Shirley a pie pusher.
Yes.
And
Pierce and Troy also have a nice interaction.
Yeah, they have a nice moment,
where,
but go ahead.
They have a nice interaction, but Pierce realizes like, oh, I can't give this guy the troll. Yeah. So he's trying to wrestle the gift out of his hand. And then Troy yells, "Give it, Pierce, it feels fun." It's a square box.
It's a square box. Give it, Pierce, it feels fun. Jeff tells Annie to ease up on the bubblegum lip gloss.
Yes.
Oh, man. And then Abed comes back up. He's like, this is the real timeline. I found a nickel in the hallway.
Well, he also comes in the room. He says, "Pizza time, best line, Spider-Man reference." There we go.
Pizza time.
Yeah, 100%.
And then timeline 7, Abed catches it. Abed goes on a actually very nice and genuine speech. Encarta it. What's that line? Oh, man. I wrote that down thinking I would remember it. Encarta it. Encarta it.
That's not ringing a bell.
No, I can't remember. Anyways, Jeff gets hit by the fan again. It's karma. This guy sucks harder than an airplane bathroom. Eartha Kitt.
Yep.
Britta finally gets to sing. Annie gets invited to move in. Pierce throws out the gift to Pierce. May he rest in Pierce at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, everything. This is the real timeline.
But there's also a darkest timeline.
The darkest timeline.
The darkest time. So this goes off of the Pierce getting shot in the leg thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff somehow loses an arm.
Okay, I'll go through all that. I have it.
Yeah, go for it.
Jeff lost an arm in the fire. Troy lost his larynx eating the troll. And he goes, apparently you don't know anything about defeating trolls.
Because the troll is on fire, so he puts it in his mouth to eat it. What was wrong with Abed?
Pierce is dead. Annie is in an asylum. Britta has a blue streak, and Abed is Abed.
Oh, and Shirley's got she's an alcoholic now too.
Yeah, she's an alcoholic.
But I think the best one is Britta having the blue streak.
Yeah, and she goes, life got dark.
Yeah, because it goes unsaid for so long. Like as a viewer, she doesn't usually have that, and then someone brings it up, and it's so funny.
It's beautiful.
This
isn't it?
was the best. I think it's either this or Monster Dean as the best.
Black goatees out of felt made out of felt represent evil. Evil study group. Return to the prime timeline is their goal, and he hands them all out, and then there's just Troy and Abed wearing the things at the end, and they sing "Evil Troy and Evil Abed."
Overall, a very good episode, a very unique episode. Repetitive as shit, though.
Well, yeah, but it's freaking hilarious. You can't hate on this. You can't hate on this at all.
It is, but even hearing you recap it, like hearing you saying Eartha Kitt 4 times, I was like,
Eartha Kitt.
I was like, shut up, man.
Eartha Kitt.
Or like
Pierce had sex with Eartha Kitt.
Yeah, or the ceiling fan. I'm like,
figure it out.
Get it going.
Figure it out. Fair enough. All right.
We good with the episodes?
Yes.
All right, Alex. Best character.
Oh man,
this is difficult for you.
It really is.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel.
Do you want me to go first? I got 2 that I'm considering.
Mm-hmm.
I'm either going Troy, or I'm going Pierce.
Okay. See, I know where I'm going. I'm going Troy.
You're going
I'm
Troy.
Going
okay.
Troy.
I might just go with Pierce just to be different from that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care for Pierce in like the beginning few episodes.
Yeah.
But the Dungeons and Dragons episode, he has so many amazing lines.
Yeah.
He's got a few lines, but he's got.
It just sucks that Chevy Chase is an IRL asshole. Like,
is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like he was terrible to work with, and they essentially killed him off the show later on.
Oh, really?
Because he was so bad on set.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Yeah, Chevy Chase is in real life just terrible person.
Oh.
So it ruins the character for me.
Oh yeah, so for my favorite character, I'm gonna go with Troy as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty.
But he does have some good lines.
He does.
He does have some really good lines.
I think he's got my favorite line in the show that we'll get to.
Is that your out-of-pocket line? Well, who's your worst character? Mine's Britta. I freaking hate Britta.
I didn't hate
Britta's the
Britta
worst.
that much. I hate Jeff.
Britta is the worst.
Jeff annoys me. Like I was telling you earlier, Jeff gives me Dennis from It's Always Sunny vibes. I just hate that character archetype. Like
no.
It's creepy. It's not funny.
The worst.
Yeah.
It's just the worst.
Best line for me goes to the Dungeons and Dragons episode where they're talking about the sword and Pierce goes, "I hump it." It's so unnecessary. It's so stupid.
I'm also gonna go back to the Dungeons and Dragons episode, and they call Britta the AT&T of people.
Yes,
that's so relatable. So relatable.
I don't know what to say for the most out of pocket one.
I mean,
'cause,
there's
like,
one we could say, but I
which
don't think we
one?
can say it on air. Is the problem in the last episode?
Are you talking the rape one?
No,
Oh, 'cause
no.
that's the one I would say.
In remedial chaos theory, when they walk in and don't discuss the blank
Oh,
problem,
yeah.
can't say that on the internet.
Pierce. This is from the episode that you didn't see, the clip show.
Okay.
So they're about to like rip into Jeff and Britta about why they're assholes. So Troy's like, okay, I'll talk. And then Pierce is like, all right, Troy, drop a beat. And I'm like, all right. It's funny, but you know, like, yeah.
It's funny. It's good. I'm going to go with, let's kick some taint.
That one's good.
It's great.
That's a
it's
good
nothing wrong
line.
with the line. It's
Yeah,
just out of pocket.
Okay.
You don't say that.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the out-of-pocket lines in this, just watch. You
gotta watch the damn show.
Are really out of pocket.
You gotta watch the damn show. It's so
Well,
good.
Overall, Community, Alex, what's your bias ass gonna give it? I'm gonna give it an 11 out of 10.
10.
10?
I'm giving it a genuine 10. This show is perfect. It is beautiful. There is nothing wrong with it outside of the last two. Season 4 does not exist. Do not watch
Well, this
season
is just
4.
based on what we saw.
Season 4 doesn't count. Season 4 never counted.
This
All
is
right.
just on us, you fanboy.
All right.
I'm gonna
Community's at 10.
give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Yes, he went with a friggin' decimal. I could kiss you.
Oh, I know you could. That. Putting another tally up.
I'm so in love with you. I'm so in love with you.
All right. So, Community,
Done.
good show.
Great show.
Great show.
And I'm just glad you rated it better than 30 Rock, because it is better than
No,
30 Rock. It is
100%.
so much better than 30 Rock.
That's the thing. When I was watching it, I do think it is better than 30 Rock and everything. I just don't exactly know what like a 10 perfect 10 sitcom for me would be. So I don't want. Oh fuck.
Is this at least close?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So it's wheel time, Alex.
Wheel! We get to do the wheel!
Yeah. I did a little tampering with the wheel actually.
Oh, you tampered?
Yeah. So there's
We do some tampering?
Yeah. There's 20 slots. I changed the color for the wheel a little bit.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
I went out this past Saturday, and Alex was invited, and I could have used them, and he did not go.
I did not.
So I took the liberty of designing a brand new wheel. As you'll notice, there's only 2 options on this wheel. We have Big Mouth, parentheses, bad, which is the 5 best rated episodes of Big Mouth, followed by parentheses, Big Mouth, parentheses, very bad, which are the 5 worst rated episodes of Big Mouth.
We should have waited. The new season's dropping in, like, did the new season drop yet?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Well, here's the thing. We're going to watch Big Mouth now.
And later.
Yeah, because it's still on the other wheel as well.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this is what you get.
Oh, no.
Big Mouth. All right.
Spin the wheel.
How bad is it gonna hurt?
Why? How did you get the character in the middle?
Oh, I looked up. It was like.
Okay. I can live with just bad.
All right,
I can live with just
that's
bad.
pretty good.
All
right.
I can live with just bad. Big Mouth, comma bad is what landed on the wheel.
About the character.
Yeah.
I went on some Japanese website where you could make your own Big Mouth character. Like all of the lettering, it was all in Japanese. There was hentai ads everywhere. The lengths I had to go to set up this fucking wheel for you.
For me, it sounds like it was more for you, my friend.
Nick Kroll?
Prepare to be destroyed. And John Mulaney, too. I love John Mulaney.
Stop.
Yeah, we'll get to this next week.
6 seasons. I swear, last time I heard of Big Mouth, they had 2.
Yeah.
I don't know where the other ones came from.
Hell.
Next week will be hell, ladies and gentlemen. This has been tcoms. I have been Frank.
I have been Alex. This has been one of the greatest shows in television history. And next week we're going to watch the gum on the bottom of my shoe in the scope of television history.
It's worse than that.
The dog shit on the bottom of my shoe in the scope of television history.
Be there. Thank you. Good night, America.